Happy 4th of July. And it wouldn't be the Independence Day if we weren't in the timber showing our independence. Of course, as you know, I said in yesterday's video, we were going to have log sales today. They're already hauling some of those out. 2 trucks going. The buddy Joe right there. That's a good looking wagon. Automatic transmission in that truck with a 500 horsepower Cummins diesel engine in that Peterbilt. Behind us here we got another Peter wagon. It's a good looking day cab. Just a straight truck. Mike's booming some sycamore down, chained it down for us. It's a good looking Peter wagon right up there on the straight truck. We're gonna get out of the way here. This sycamore is actually for a charity deal here at Stockton. We've been asked to help out with. There's kind of a wood carving festival going on, and they want to know if we could get them some sycamore to carve on, which gladly we could. We just paid for some little pieces out of pocket, and we're going to haul them in right now, get ready for the festivities. So, as we chain down, because I know these guys are, well, Joe's in the way, and that guy's way, so everybody's in somebody's way. But we'll go from there. Now, Michael and I decided to drive across the top of the dam here. This is the lake side. This is what it used to look like. And I'm kind of more fond of this picture than I am this picture. Having lived here at Stockton my whole life, I've really never spent that much time out on that horrid body of water they call a lake. I'm more of a river person myself. Of course, it being the 4th weekend, it's just crazy out there. The lake's big right now. All the lakes here in Missouri are big with all the flooding we've had. But you can see the old river channel right there. And I wish it all still looked like that. I really do. Because this lake's never really done anything for me. I'm not, like I said, I'm not a lake person. I'd rather it be river bottom with big timber and farm ground. But what's done's been done. When they did build the lake back, and when they started the project back in the late 60s, Dad was the only person allowed to cut timber off the land that they'd used eminent domain to take. They actually, where he grew up, they took that chunk of land that him and his family grew up on. It's right there by where the powerhouse is now. But Dad cut a lot of timber off the core ground, off for what would become the core ground, all the farms. And I often ask him about it, about, how because he didn't have any skidders, he didn't have skid steers, didn't have, the trucks that we have now. He had a winch truck, and I always wondered, like, how did you get any production, or how did you do it, and he said you cut the very best and went on, because you had to work fast, because if you didn't, I mean, there was tractors and dozers and machines right behind you just piling everything up so they could burn it. So it was a big waste. Of course, if they were to do something like that now, I like to think that we could kind of nip at their heels a little more on staying up with keeping the timber cut. But coming down here to the bottom side of the dam, that's steeper and longer than it looks. I used to run up that when I worked out with Mike worked out with us a few times doing that. But when we used to run obstacle course races, that's where we worked out sometimes, was running up and down that. And where are we going here? I think it's down here, Mike. I see some stuff down here. This might be an interesting little deal they're going to put on tomorrow. They're supposed to have beer and wine, so surely there'll be a few people show up. Anytime there's beer, they usually draw a crowd. Yeah, we'll unload this stuff right here. Boy, there's some... Well, Mike, I feel pretty good about what we've brought. Yeah. This is some junk.
Yeah.
We are on the road going through Kansas City here, of course. Yeah, don't act like you were awake.
I'm awake.
Yeah, Mike's been sleeping like the whole time we've been gone. He literally gets in the truck and goes right to sleep. Anyway, driving through Kansas City here. It has been a hectic morning already. This, not even really. Oh my, what a jewel that was. rubber bands on the wheels. Anyway, it's been a hectic morning. We've been driving through rain. There was actually some decent flooding going on there around Stockton and just to the west of Stockton when we left this morning. I say around Stockton, more to the west. We had some heavy rain, but not really flooding per se, but as saturated as the ground is, we're still a lot of runoff. But there west of town, they were getting a lot of heavy rainfall. And one thing, a couple weeks ago, we switched the Logger Threads website, our e-commerce platform, over to Shopify. And I have so much going on at times, like I don't notice some things. Well, a lady finally messaged me this morning on Logger Threads and said she couldn't get her payment information to go through or put it in anywhere at all. And the payment information was actually down on the Logger Threads account. So if you guys have been trying to get on Logger Threads and place any orders, that's fixed now, which I'm glad she brought it to my attention. And I'd kind of wondered why we weren't really seeing anything come through, and that was the reason why. Of course, luckily, the guys that work on the website, they were on call today. They're on taking holiday with it, being the 4th, but they were on call, and luckily they were good enough to help solve the problem. It was a quick fix, but so that's fixed anyway, and I'm glad. That makes me feel a lot better about that. Anyway, we're almost to downtown KC. Of course, we do a lot of work up here in the area. Used to run around a lot up here in my younger days when I was a little wilder and more rambunctious, but anymore, really, this place is a circus, and I hate hauling equipment through here. Luckily, we're just driving right up the gut since we're not pulling a trailer or anything. But we're on our way to pick up Brandon up here at Fremont, Nebraska. We're still a couple hours out from Brandon, probably about 2.5 or 3 hours. We're clipping along pretty good. We're not letting any grass grow under us, so hopefully we'll get up here, get Brandon picked up, and get on up to Wisconsin without a hitch. Downtown Kansas City. Coming right through her. Used to spend a little bit of time up here when I was younger running around. We come down here to Power and Light District a little bit. Nothing says you don't fit in when you come to Kansas City Power and Light when you're a bunch of country kids in jeans and boots and pearl snap shirts. I still have a good friend that lives up here. She used to live right over here in one of these, I think that high-rise condo right there. And I would stay with her, and that was always fun for me. We went to high school together, have the same birthday. We've been good friends ever since high school. We don't see each other as much as we like anymore because we're kind of gotten older and, doing our own things in life. But we still try to get together once or twice a year. And I always come up here to the city and try to see her, hang out with her for a weekend. Last summer we went to the Kenny Chesney concert. We always try to get together and do something fun. It's nice just to try to stay in touch and keep friends throughout the years. So Rachel, I doubt you're watching my YouTube, but if you are, Rachel's actually from San Diego and moved to Stockton, I believe my sophomore year. And we had a lot of fun with Rachel because she was a city girl through and through and come to a small town like Stockton with, less than 2,000 people, and it was like a whole nother world for her. So when we were in school, Rachel got a lot of tricks played on her. She still gives me a hard time about some of them, but we had a lot of fun with that. So getting ready to cross the Missouri River right now. We're gonna cut in front of this Toyota. River's rolling pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, there's parts about Kansas City I do like. I like coming up here at times just to visit. That'll be the whole trip. Right there.
Yeah. Meditate.
Kansas City. We are coming up on Rockport, Missouri. As you can tell out there, still a lot of flooded ground. This is not the first flooded ground we've seen from the Missouri River. There's still quite a bit of it we've been through, so Missouri River's still Still got some flooding issues going on up here in northern Missouri, far northwestern Missouri. Get back on here. We're making pretty good time. We're clipping along. It's almost 11 o'clock. A lot more flooding out there. Wow, the house been underwater out there. More house has been underwater. Let's see if we can zoom a little bit. Pretty crazy stuff. And it's, as you can see, it's been a lot bigger and it's started to recede, but this has been flooded up here for a few months. Because even when we were working up in the Kansas City area back in the springs when all this started flooding, it's, like I said, there's still water here and it's receding, but still a lot of water. A lot of crops didn't get put in, that's for sure. Yeah, we're making pretty good time. We should be running, I guess, about on schedule. Made no stops yet. We're going to stop here in just a minute up here at the state line, fuel up. Then we should be about an hour and a half from Brandon. We'll go and pick up Brandon and head on to the North Country a little further in. Got some windmills over here, Mike. Some wind turbines. You're playing video games. You're not even watching.
No, not really.
I'm looking at this flooding stuff out here. Just amazing how much that's flooded. Flooded everywhere. Well, we're going to wheel in right here and get fuel, get something to drink, keep pressing on. If you like what you see, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for all of our latest videos.